Hello.
This is Tony with the Maggie Linton Show. Is this Amrik Kang?
Yeah, this is Amrik Kang. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah, so Maggie's going to be ready for you here in about a minute. You're scheduled to go till about 11 Eastern, so about a 25-minute interview.
Okay.
Um, there will be one break in the middle. Just stay on hold, and Maggie will be right back with you. It's a couple-minute break. Did you
Okay.
have any questions?
No, you can you hear me fine on this line?
Yeah, it sounds fine. Are you on a speaker?
Yeah. I have several different lines here. If this phone for some
I called the 3126, but I just left a
oh,
voicemail.
because I was calling you to letting you know that I am ready. That's why you got a busy tone.
Yeah, yeah, no problem. If you would just, if possible, can you come off a speakerphone when
Yeah.
we get started, just
Yeah.
because it does sound better?
I will do that.
Okay, thank
Yeah.
you so much.
Okay.
I'll put you on hold now. Maggie will be with you in about 20, 30 seconds.
Okay.
Thank you.
The white side is where you need to be. There's people in this world that they will never allow themselves to accept standards that they're unwilling to compromise. They're not going to accept people who use profane language at them. You have to be very careful when you subject people to these kind of hostile and sick environments. Let me tell you something. There's a price to pay. People snap. Armstrong Williams, weeknights at 6 p.m. East on the Urban View. I don't think I still could do it. So Luke still don't want to play nothing but the blues. I think I'm pretty glad about that. Don't nobody sing to me like Lucille. And just a reminder, right now on Channel 70, while listening to Channel 70 Bluesville, then we recommend that you call in and contribute anything to the living memorial that they're doing all throughout the day. B.B. King's Bluesville is honoring him by playing his music, and we are too, along with remembrances of his legacy. Welcome back on Monday, Ways to Build Your Self-Esteem with self-esteem and branding expert S. Renee Smith and healthcare advocate Brian Boyle will share his book, The Patient Experience. But we continue with ways to get your home-based and mail-order business running at peak condition. Amrik Kang is an expert on home-based businesses and mail-order strategies. Welcome, Amrik.
Thank you, Maggie.
I'm so glad to have you on. How did you get interested in basically home-based businesses?
First of all, let me thank you for having me. This is my first show. If I mumble or stumble, so please bear with me. I haven't done any live show before, even though I have quite a few video recordings. So now let me tell you how I got involved. In 1990, when I moved from California to Washington State after living there for 6 years, I was single. But a month later, I got married. I got my wife from Canada. She didn't have a work permit or a work visa, but she was able to come here. And I got a job with the Boeing company building airplanes. And she wanted to do something from home. I did have a little bit experience, but I was not an expert. So we started this home business adventure at the time. And for the next 5 years, she was just stumbling around, and I was trying to help her out. In the meantime, I was keeping my full time job and gaining experience in the mail order business, mail order and home business, I should say. The reason I am saying these two things are separate, mail order and home business, because I did have quite a bit experience in mail order. I was a realtor back in California, and I knew how to do mail merge, form letters, send direct mail, and all that. I had quite a bit experience in that part, but not how to use that knowledge for running a home business. So I was trying to combine the two so we can make it work for her. But in the next 5 years, we were able to build it up. And in 1995, my first book came out because I had quite a bit experience by that time. We are celebrating the 20th anniversary of that book now.
And so it was just kind of you kind of fell into the business trying to help your wife, but you learned from your mistakes, and now
Exactly.
want to help others do that. And that's
Exactly.
basically what you're doing is
Exactly.
stepping out to help people know
that if it's home-based, it can be a success because way too many people get involved in something thinking it's going to be the instant that they see the people at the top doing, but it takes some work and also doing it the right way.
Exactly, exactly. At that time, we were not experts, and we made quite a few mistakes. And one time, she ordered something from a company in Del Mar that was in California. 34.95 was the price. The product never showed up, and a couple of months later, the police raided that place, and they were just renting an apartment. Nobody was there. There was no product, nothing to sell. So those kind of things continue to happen quite a few times. But we learned quite a bit during those 5 years, and slowly we became experts. But I always had my own job, full-time job, because I'm not a guy who sits behind a desk or stay at home. I always like to talk to people, do some running around, go out, and that's what I have been doing for the last 45 years, I should say.
Yeah. Well, when you say you like to talk to people, you speak 4 languages fluently, so you can talk to a lot of people.
Exactly, I do that every day. I am a full-time interpreter for working through the Washington State court system. I run from one court to another court to another court. As a matter of fact, after finishing this show, I have a court assignment. That's where I will be going. So I talk to a lot of attorneys, judges, clients every single day, and switch between languages. I do it every day, and I enjoy it. But she does this home business part, and I'm sort of supervisor or overseer of that home business. But she's running.
Well, I think let's talk about some of the mistakes that people make. But one of the biggest is really keeping up with their expenses, which can be a write-off later when it comes tax time.
Exactly. Actually I was going to go over all those things step by step. If you can bear with me,
Okay.
I would.
Yeah, I'll tell you
Yeah,
what. Before you get started,
yeah.
I'm going to take a break so that when we come back, we can just talk and not be interrupted. How about that?
Okay. Thank you. Yeah.
Folks, we're going to take a quick break. And just remember, you don't need to get your eyes checked. You don't need to recalculate the total. And no.
Hello. Hey, were you on speakerphone?
Oh yeah. Sorry, I forgot about that. I'll pick up the phone next time when she comes
Yeah,
on.
it sounds okay. It'll
Yeah.
just sound a lot better if not. But yeah, when Maggie comes back, if you would.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Okay.
Sports networks and no first receiver fee. Why pay more? It's a no-brainer. Dish is a better value. Stop staring at your costly bill and pick up the phone. Call 1-800-CALL-DISH and talk to a customer representative. One simple call can start saving you money. Get the same great shows at better quality service, all for a lower price. Call 1-800-CALL-DISH and switch to Dish today. 24-month commitment and credit qualification required. Cancellation fee, monthly equipment fees, auto pay, and paperless billing, and other restrictions apply. When we come back, more with Amrik Kang and home-based businesses. Stay tuned.
Stories that inspire you. You are listening to the Maggie Linton Show on Sirius XM Urban View. Sirius XM's Entertainment Weekly Radio presents The End of an Era. AMC's Emmy Award-winning, critically acclaimed drama, Mad Men, is coming to a close. Go inside the last episodes with EW's Mad Men specialist. Where will Dawn end up? How do you think the series will end? EW's Mad Men Recap, Mondays at 2 p.m. East, 11 a.m. West on Entertainment Weekly Radio, Sirius XM 105, or listen on the Sirius XM app. Are you a small business owner who needs working capital? Are you frustrated waiting for a bank's decision or being rejected? At Business Loans Today, we redefine small business lending, and we say yes a lot more often than banks. That's because our focus is on your business operation, not just your personal credit score. There's no collateral needed, and we're ready to help with loans from $5,000 to $250,000. Available as soon as one business day. Business loans today provide financing to hundreds of industries. So if you're a small business owner who has been in operation for at least 1 year and have sales of over $20,000 a month, get ready to take down our number. Our simple application process takes just minutes, and funding up to $250,000 could be available in just one business day. Call now and speak with a Business Loans Today funding specialist at 800-996-2442. That's 800-996-2442. 800-996-2442. When it comes to choosing IT products for your small business, having support after your purchase is important. With Dell, you can rely on priority access to technology experts and breakthrough tools that keep your employees productive and reduce the time IT spends on maintenance. Pro Support Plus is the first premium service for laptops and tablets that automates support to prevent issues before they occur and quickly resolve issues when they do. Visit Dell.com or call 877-414-DELL to see how Pro Support Plus can help your small business. Sure, being the world's smallest 13-inch laptop looks impressive, but size is just the beginning. It's time for your business to say goodbye to borders. Introducing the new Dell XPS 13, featuring the world's first virtually borderless Infinity Edge display with the latest Intel Core processors, machined aluminum, and carbon fiber build. It's amazing both inside and out. See the laptop CES named the 2015 Innovation Award honoree, and everybody's buzzing about. Well, everyone except the competition. Shop now at Dell.com/XPS for business.
You don't even pay tax. They take tax. You get the check, money gone. That's not a payment, that's a jack.
Finances can be complicated, but not so much. You got to figure out a budget that will allow you to have an enjoyable and a pleasurable lifestyle, but not extravagant, because this is a marathon. The time horizon is short. This is transitory income. Blue Hood, Saturdays at 9 a.m. East on Sirius XM Urban View.
Mail order expert Amrik Kang. We're going to talk about some of the do's and don'ts for successful business. Amrik, thank you again.
Yeah. Thank you, Maggie. Let me get this phone because he wants me to pick up the phone, so I'm just trying to get it closer to me.
Oh, okay.
So can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you fine. Time? Yeah.
Okay. Because I was on speakerphone, so I thought there may be some disturbance. Okay. Now, let me start with 5 important benefits of mail order, a home business. One can be you can be your own boss. You can set your own hours. You don't have to do any commuting, and you can write your own paycheck, give yourself a raise, and you were talking about tax deductions. That was number 5 and the most important on my list. Mm-hmm. Tax deductions, you can take deductions for your mortgage, even for your utilities bills, and your car expenses. How about that?
Yeah, but it's not your total amount. Isn't it only a percentage?
It's a percentage, depending on how much space you have assigned to your home business. In our case, we have our home business downstairs. The whole downstairs has been assigned to home business. The whole upstairs has been assigned to our residents. Mm-hmm. So the whole downstairs expenses, they get deducted.
Yeah, that's great. All right, so let's talk. What's number 1 on your list? Because we talked about number 5, but what's number 1?
Yeah, most people who don't like to commute, they don't want anybody on their head watching them, sitting there all the time or watching them. They like to be their own boss. Even though I'm a little different, I like to go out, as I said, I like to talk to people, go out, drive around, because those are the kinds of things I have been doing all my life, starting with life insurance after doing my graduation back in the old country.
And so, if you want to stay home, it's probably good for someone who's maybe doing homeschooling or something like that. But realize you have to really be committed to this and not just waiting for it to happen.
Exactly. As a matter of fact, we have 2 daughters, and both of my daughters were homeschooled while my wife was doing this home business. So she never had a job outside the home for the last 25 years. since she moved from Canada to the United States. Even though she has a bachelor's degree in education and she also has a master's degree, she was a teacher back in the old country and a vice principal for 7 years. But here, she never had a job, and she loves doing this home business thing.
Yeah. All right. Let's talk about some other pointers that people need to have.
Okay, now some people think home business is a pipe dream. So I disagree with that. That's what we thought for the first 5 years, that it's a pipe dream. It won't work, and because we continue to make some mistakes. But 1995, when my first book came out, at that time we didn't have very professional-looking books. I was just saddle stitching and sending those out and learning in the meantime. But she started to build her businesses, went from 20,000 to 40,000 to 100,000 to 135,000 a year. We were living in an apartment at that time, and that amount of business that forced us out of that apartment. That year, we paid $14,000 in taxes alone, and our apartment rent was only $8,400.
Wow.
So this is how we got out of that apartment and came to a house.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
we can take some deductions.
Now, when you mentioned, having to pay the taxes with a home-based business. Now, I realize you work a full-time job, but with a home-based business, is there exception to? Do you still pay your taxes once a year, or should you really look at doing it quarterly so you're not hit as hard at the end of a year?
Yeah, the IRS or the Department of Revenue in our state, they are the ones who assign you a status. They tell you this is your tax status. You pay either quarterly or yearly. It depends on certain income levels. So if they assign me quarterly, right now we are on a yearly basis, but they are the ones who assign it. So it depends on the different states, I guess.
Mm-hmm. So just look into it, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
what about product? If you've got a product that you're selling, how do you handle that?
Yeah, very good question. Actually, I was coming there. Okay, there are three things in mail order. The first thing, the most important thing is product. So, which is the easy part. You have to pick your product. It could be vitamins. It could be weight loss products, or it could be jewelry items, or books, information products. It has to be something which is not very heavy, which is light. I always advise against heavy items. Those are not good candidates for mail order. So once you pick your product, whatever you love, you like to do, you can handle better, then you are ready to go. Then your next step is a mailing list. You need to get a mailing list because there are mailing lists for everything. You need to match a mailing list with that product which you like to market, which you picked. Okay. Once you have those two things, the last thing is the sales letter. Then you need to draft a letter suitable according to your taste and which fits into the whole narrative of that marketing that product. So you have three things. You are ready to go. Then you will be needing some equipment. We will talk about that.
Well, where do you get lists from?
Good question. There are quite a few brokers nationwide who handle just the mailing list. Actually, there's one in New York. He's my favorite, and I was in New York a couple of weeks ago, but I wasn't able to see him. I didn't have time. And there are brokers nationwide, and there's a book called SRDS. Standard Rate and Data Register, and they have tons of mailing lists there. So there are brokers who are handling mailing. So always go through a broker so that he can match a mailing list to your product. Don't try to just get the names out of a directory or a phone book because those people may not want your product. Yeah. So that will be a bad idea.
Well, people talk to you about friends, too, and that doesn't always work out too well either, does it?
Yeah, exactly. Well, Yeah, always. We had a client who wanted to do just 200 names. I want to send 200 names. I said, "Where's the mailing list?" She said, "I would like to get it out of the phone book." I said, "Well, that's not going to work." She didn't listen to me, and 200. She mailed out 200, and nobody responded. This is not how it works. It's a numbers game.
Yeah, it really is a numbers game. Well, you talked about equipment. Once again, we're speaking with Amrik Kang, and he is an expert on home-based business and mail order strategies. So, equipment. Of course, a computer nowadays, I guess.
Yeah,
Definitely.
three things. We recommend three things. In the beginning, we did not have a computer when I moved from California. I left everything there. I brought a typewriter with me, which was IBM Selectric typewriter. This is how we started the whole thing. We were typing everything. Actually, she was typing. I was always at work, and she was typing by hand. But a year later, we bought an IBM computer and made life much more easier for her. And we also bought a printer. And then she needed a folding machine. We bought that folding machine actually 3 years later. That made life much more easier for her. So actually you do need three things: a computer, a printer, and a folding machine, so that you do not have to fold your letters by hand.
Well, and so I guess that's the reason why you said you needed a good letter, introduction letter.
Yeah.
Because sometimes I'll tell you, I get stuff in the mail, and the letter is just so ridiculous. I want to say, who wrote this? Because it just goes on and on and on, and it immediately lets me know that I wouldn't order anything from these people, even if I could.
Yeah, exactly. Too long a letter. Some letters are 16 pages or a whole book. People don't have the time to read that.
Yeah.
Sometimes it is only half a page of one paragraph. That's good for a postcard, one paragraph. But four-page sales letter is a good compromise. Shouldn't be more than 4 pages. That's a very good compromise. It should always be personalized. Even in the beginning, when we had that IBM Selectric typewriter, right now we have 8 computers. Even at that time, she was typing everything. She was personalizing everything. Dear Maggie, dear Amrik, dear Manji, dear so-and-so. So it's always try to personalize so that it doesn't look like a junk mail.
Yeah, because that's the illusion, and people will just take it and toss it immediately. And I guess, even more so than that, just choosing a product that you also care about and are interested in, that's also near the beginning, isn't it?
Exactly. That's very, very important. Well, I talk to some people, they said, "Oh, I don't like the books. I don't read that many books. I don't want to market books." I said, "Nobody's telling you to market books. Not everybody has taste. If you like jewelry items, just pick small jewelry items. You like weight loss products, pick that one. Or you like something else, something different. Maybe some safety products, safety items like mace or stun guns, something like that. Pick that product, whatever you like. That has to be your product, but it has to be small, not a bulky, large item.
Yeah, because it costs too much to send out. Listen,
Exactly.
Many thanks to home-based business and mail order expert Amrik Kang. More at his website, peoplespublishinghouse.com. Once again, that's peoplespublishinghouse.com. And you can also find out more about Amrik at punjabimanch.com. And that's Poon, PUNJABIMANCH.com. Thank you, Amrik. Good talking with you.